Did you know that before European imperialism, Africa included the Middle East as Northeast Africa? According to World Atlas, the term Middle East originated from a European perspective. It was strategically coined to separate the rich oil states from their African identity, which includes Egypt, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Dubai, and more. In ancient times, the Greeks referred to the people of the entire area as Ethiopians. The name Ethiopia itself is Greek and means of burned face. The Greek historian Herodotus described North Africans as dark-skinned people with woolly hair. Later, when Africa was likely named by the Romans, it included the Arabian Peninsula because the Arabians of that time were black people, and the entire region had melanated-skinned people. Throughout history, the area has faced invasions by the Persians, Greeks, Romans, and the Ashkenazis, now called Arabians. During these events, Jews were persecuted and killed, resulting in the displacement of the native populations. The slave trade, as mentioned in the Bible, particularly in the book of Deuteronomy, came to pass. For example, Deuteronomy 28:48 mentions Moses warning that, "The Lord shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee," referring to the Israelites' punishment in later days for turning away from God to worship idols. According to the history of slavery, this only happened to people of color, commonly referred to as black people. Some verses also talk about slave ships, God's people working in the fields without getting paid, losing their identity. Now people think the Bible was written by white people. And other verses discuss the oppression of God's people for many years without anyone being able to redeem them, except if they turn back to God. That's how they will regain their Holy Land, culture, and riches. Some of these prophecies have been fulfilled, which is evidence that the Bible is true history. To my understanding, every time the Israelites turned away from God, they became slaves, and only God could save them. That is why Moses was sent to save them from the land of bondage, Egypt. If you study the Bantu people migration, you may discover that these people are indigenous to those areas, and they are Jews. Unfortunately, mainstream media often hides this information.